nga kujambula ndi kuwulutsa mauthenga ndi mapulogalamu osiyanasiyana ndi cholinga chofuna kukudziwitsani, kukuphunzitsani komanso kukusangalatsani, kujambula nyimbo za makwaya komanso oyimba ena, kukonza ndi kujambula mapulogalamu osiyanasiyana okhudza za umoyo, maphunziro, chilungamo ndi mtendere, maufulu a anthu, zachilengedwe ndi zagwidwe ka ntchito pakati pa amayi ndi abambo, kujambula ndi kuwulutsa miyambo ya mapemphero, misonkhano ya mabungwe osiyanasiyana ngakhalenso zipani za ndale, komanso kuthandiza kutukula ochita malonda ang'onoang'ono ndi akulu omwe powalengezera malonda awo. Zonsezi zimatheka pa mitengo yokambirana. Onerani kanemo.
Glad you could join us for 7:30 News Bulletin. My name is Vales Jizombe. First, the headlines. Pope Leo XIV emphasizes the importance of reading books as Vatican publishing houses mark 100 years. Rights advocates urge protection of whistleblowers in fresh Chilima plane crash inquiry. Malawians in South Africa call for government intervention over xenophobic attacks. And in other news, Cameroon former National Assembly President Jai Ghibli dies at 86. We have this and more. Do stay with us. Pope Leo XIV has emphasized the importance of reading and reflected on three enriching aspects of books during his meeting with members of the editorial offices of the Vatican Publishing House in Vatican City. The Pope noted that reading helps cultivate a conscious and well-formed critical sense and guards against fundamentalism and ideological shortcuts. We have a Vatican News report read by Charity Chilanga.
The meeting marked 100 years of the publishing house's work, with the Pope describing the milestone as a family celebration and acknowledging its role in serving 9 pontiffs by sharing their teachings across the world. Pope Leo reflected on the history of the institution, noting that it became independent in 1926 from the Vatican printing press, which had been established in 1587. Focusing on the value of reading, Pope Leo stressed that books provide an opportunity for deep thought, especially in a digital age where reflection is often overlooked, and said reading helps develop a well-informed and critical mindset. The Holy Father warned that a lack of reading can lead to rigid thinking and narrow views, encouraging people to embrace books as a way to challenge closed-mindedness and resist simplistic or extreme ideologies. Drawing on the legacy of Pope Francis, the Holy See noted that books can promote a culture of encounter by bringing people closer together, strengthening dialogue, and expanding understanding among different communities. The Pope also underlined the spiritual value of reading, explaining that books, especially those about saints and Christian teachings, can inspire faith and deepen one's relationship with Christ. The Pope concluded by thanking the publishing house staff for their dedication and offering his apostolic blessing.
Rights groups Center for Social Accountability and Transparency (CSAT) and Human Defenders Coalition (HRDC) have stressed the need for transparency, public participation and protection of whistleblowers in the fresh parliamentary inquiry into the plane crash that killed former Vice President Dr. Saulos Chilima and 8 others. The caution comes as the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee is inviting members of the public to submit information and evidence related to the inquiry. Yidifo Gan has filed a report read in our studios by Kalista Kamwendo.
Speaking in an interview with Luntha Television, CSAT Executive Director Willy Kambandila described the move to involve citizens in the inquiry as a positive step towards accountability and transparency. Kambandila said previous investigations were often restricted to government officials, limiting public trust in the findings. However, stressed the need for mechanisms that will protect whistleblowers and ensure the evidence submitted is credible and free from political influence.
And above, it is also our appeal to citizens to make sure that they are not influenced by politics when submitting their evidence. It would be good to make sure that they provide evidence that is credible, because that's what will ensure that findings of this particular inquiry are credible but also accepted by everyone.
Meanwhile, HRDC Chairperson Michael Kayasa welcomed the committee's decision to gather information from the public, but emphasized the need for the broader channels of communication beyond hotlines. Kayasa noted that not every Malawian has access to a phone, saying the committee must create multiple ways for citizens to submit information in order to gather as much evidence as possible.
They should ensure that they provide an opportunity for as many people as possible to report or provide their information. Using a hot number is a good idea, but we should also bear in mind the fact that not every Malawian has access to a phone. Therefore, apart from using a hotline, there should be other means through which people can provide their information, so that as much information as possible is collected in order that we have a report that will be as comprehensive as possible, but also providing Malawians with the information, the answers that they have been craving for.
The Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee recently opened the public inquiry process into the plane crash that claimed the life of Dr. Saulos Chilima and 8 others, with various stakeholders calling for a transparent and credible investigation.
Malawians living in South Africa have appealed to the Malawi government to intervene in the ongoing xenophobic attacks in the country to ensure their safety and freedom. Speaking to Luntha Television, a Malawian based in South Africa, Olive Piri said there is a need for diplomatic engagement between President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to help bring the attacks to an end. Emmanuel Chocha has filed this report.
In an interview, Pili said the situation is worsening, with many Malawians allegedly being harassed despite possessing valid passports and work permit.
And South Africa, we can sit together to make a decision, because if we can make papers for foreigners from Malawian, we can do better. Because if I've got no paper, and then if I've got no paper, we can make a big problem in South Africa. If I've got paper, it's no big problem. So I can myself, we can take nice paper without no government to do something. So you need the government to talk, to sit. If you sit, you can make a nice decision to help us, all Malawians.
Concurring with Piri, concerned citizens of Malawi Representative Edward Kambanje has urged the Malawi government to swiftly engage South African authorities over the ongoing xenophobic attacks, giving the South African High Commission a 7-day ultimatum and warning that the group will hold vigil at the Commission offices if no action is taken.
We hereby issue a 7-day ultimatum notice from yesterday that if we are not going to see visible and meaningful action, we are going to have a vigil at the South African embassy just to make sure that the South African government have acted on this one. You know, we remain committed to peace, justice, and the protection of human dignity.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Charles Nkalamba has said the ministry is working closely with key institutions, including the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, and the Department of Citizen and Immigration Services to ensure coordinated support for the affected Malawians.
Is or has already triggered a multisectoral response to the matter, and we are engaging our counterparts, including the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, as well as the Department of Immigration and Citizenship Services, in order to map a response to the problems that Malawians are facing in South Africa.
A fresh wave of xenophobic violence in South Africa, with anti-migrant protests and violence incidents targeting foreign nationals reportedly in several provinces. Between April 26 and 28, the unrest is reportedly being driven by a claim that foreign nationals are taking jobs and resources from South African citizens. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Chiwocha.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed that 17 Malawians have died following a fatal bus accident involving a Malawi-bound passenger coach in Zimbabwe on Tuesday, with several others sustaining injuries and receiving treatment at various hospitals. Speaking with Luntha Television, Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Charles Nkalamba said the accident occurred between Koto town and the Nyamapanda border post in Zimbabwe after the bus overturned while carrying about 60 passengers and 3 crew members. Kalamba added that officials from the Malawi embassy in Zimbabwe are currently on the ground working closely with Zimbabwean authorities to assist the injured and facilitate support for those affected by the tragedy.
Health facilities, including Motoko and the Kotwa district hospitals and the Palilenyato Referral Hospital in Harare. Officials from the Malawi embassy are currently on the ground collaborating with the Zimbabwean authorities in attending to the injured and securing the remains of the deceased. The mission's officials are also extending necessary consular assistance and ensuring that all Malawians involved in the accident receive appropriate medical care and support. Meanwhile, the ministry is coordinating an immediate response with the Department of Disaster Management Affairs and the Department of Immigration and Citizenship Services in order to repatriate the deceased and the injured. The ministry conveys its deepest condolences to the bereaved families and stands in solidarity with all who have been affected by this tragedy.
The Lilongwe City Council has entered into an agreement with an Indian company, JBR Technologies Limited, for a project to generate 15 megawatts of electricity from waste disposed at the Area 38 dam site. Speaking during a visit to the dam site alongside Lilongwe City Mayor Peter Alex Banda, the company's representative in Malawi, Kelva Surish Takla, said the project is expected to help reduce the problem of waste management while also increasing electricity supply in the city. Alison Banda has filed this report.
According to Takla, the company has the capacity to help reduce power outages in the city by producing 20 megawatts of electricity from the waste collected at the site. He said the project is expected to create employment opportunities to Malawians while enabling residents to earn income by selling waste materials to the company instead of simply dumping them.
And first what means that I've heard, I don't know other who has come in, but I've heard some things that other people have come in the country and then told government will have to invest while they had promised. But my approach was that we do not want investment for government. We just need help of facilitating the documents, land, and whatsoever government support we can get. And JBR is there since 1980s. And today even there was a meeting with the Honorable Minister where the Minister clearly told the team that we are not here to waste time because we have got people who have come, made fake promises, made PPAs and not work. So it was committed by the owner managing director, Mr. Rajendra Singh, that no, I am committed, I will invest in a 10 to 15 megawatts for start. We are interested in two sets, but...
Are you promising Malawians that this company is approved by the minister?
The minister today we had made a courtesy call to him and presented our presentation. So the minister, the same thing you told us that we should commit Malawians that we are going to bring this project in and we are ready to invest. So our promise to the minister, and we tell all Malawians that JBR is a company which is serious and is. We have asked the ministry already to what is the next process. We don't want to tell them to go back home, do the homework and come. No, they've already done the homework and come to Malawi.
Speaking during the visit, Lilongwe City Mayor Alex Peter Banda said the council is thoroughly assessing the company's proposal and supporting documents before granting approval for the project to commence operations, provided all legal requirements are met.
As Lilongwe City Council, we have applauded the initiative to convert waste into biogas electricity. Although we have not yet signed any agreement with the company, we first wanted them to familiarize themselves with the site. After that, we will review the license documents and make the necessary recommendations as Lilongwe City Council.
The proposed initiative is expected to improve waste management in Lilongwe, while contributing effort aimed at addressing Malawi's electricity challenges, creating job opportunities, and promoting environmental sustainability.
You are still watching Luntha News with me, Fales Chizombe. We'll be back shortly.
Announcement: transition to cashless ticketing. Malawi Airlines would like to inform all valued customers that effective 1st May, all ticket purchases will be conducted exclusively through cashless transactions. As part of this transition, payment will be accepted via bank transfers and POS machines for various banks available at our offices. This measure is designed to streamline our processes, reduce transaction times, and ensure a safer, more secure way of completing bookings. Cashless ticketing will complement our existing online booking platforms, our website, and our mobile application while aligning with global aviation practices that embrace digital payment solutions. We encourage all customers to prepare for this change by making use of the available electronic payment facilities. Our sales and airport staff will be available to guide and assist customers during this transition. For further assistance, please contact our customer service team via customerrelations@malawianairlines.com or call our support line. We remain committed to serving you with dignity, efficiency, and care as we embrace this new chapter. This announcement is brought to you by Malawi Airlines Management.
Malawi Airlines, from the warm heart of Africa.
Kampani ya maulendo a ndege ya Malawi Airlines ikudziwitsa makasitomala awo onse kuti kuyambira pa 1 May 2026 kugula matikiti kudzichitika pogwiritsa ntchito njira za digital. Monga gawo la kusintha kumeneku, kulipira kudzalandiridwa kudzera potumiza ndalama ku banki, bank transfer, makina a POS, mabanki osiyanasiyana omwe alipo ku maofesi athu. Njirazi zomwe zakhazikitsidwa pofuna kuthandiza makasitomala mwachangu komanso pofuna kukhwimitsa chitetezo zizigwirizana ndi njira zina zomwe zilipo kale zogulira matikiti pa intaneti kuphatikizapo tsamba lathu la website komanso pa foni, mogwirizana ndi mmene makampani a ndege pa dziko lonse akusinthira kupita ku njira za digital. Kulimbikitsa makasitomala onse kuti akonzekere kusintha kumeneku kugwiritsa ntchito njira zolipira za pa intaneti zomwe zilipo. Ogwira ntchito athu ku maofesi ogulitsa ndi ku airport adzakhalapo kuti athandize ndi kutsogolera makasitomala pa nthawi yakusinthaku. Mukafuna kumva zambiri, tumizani email pa customer.relations@malawianairlines.com kapena imbani foni pa 0992 991 097.
Malawi Airlines, from the warm heart of Africa.
Welcome back. You're watching news on Luntha Television, coming to you live from Bishop Neve Media Center. Before we proceed, let's have another look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV emphasizes the importance of reading books as Vatican publishing houses mark 100 years. Rights advocates urge protection of whistleblowers in fresh Chilima plane crash inquiry. Malawians in South Africa call for government intervention over xenophobic attacks. And in other news, Cameroon former National Assembly President Jai Ghibli dies at 86. Moving forward, the Malawi Red Cross Society has introduced mobile and digital payment platforms in this year's Red Cross Day and Flag Week appeal in a move aimed at widening public participation and strengthening disaster response efforts across the country. Speaking during a press briefing in Lilongwe on Thursday, Director of Programs and Development at Malawi Red Cross Society, Leonard Maganga, said the organization expects to raise about 200 million kwacha during the week-long campaign through both electronic and physical contribution. Constance Kantameni has filed this report.
In his remarks, Maganga said this year's appeal has introduced a mobile payment gateway in partnership with Pay Changu, allowing people to contribute using Airtel Money, Mpamba, bank cards, and USSD codes even on basic mobile phones. He said the innovation is aimed at ensuring no one is left behind and supporting vulnerable communities affected by disasters across the country. Maganga further said apart from cash donations, the Malawi Red Cross Society is also encouraging people to contribute non-perishable food items and relief materials such as blankets, mats, tents, buckets, clothing, and cooking utensils.
We provide to the communities materials that will help them to find dignified shelter, such as tents, if people have mats, blankets, clothing, cooking utensils, plastic buckets, and all that.
Why should people contribute?
People should contribute specifically through Malawi Red Cross Society because that's the sure way to have their support reach the most vulnerable people. So it's people supporting people through Malawi Red Cross Society. We don't only aim to give handouts to community, but also build their long-term resilience. That's why we are there immediately disasters occur, or even before disasters occur, and we are also the last to leave to ensure the dignity of the people is sustained and we also build long-term resilience.
The 2026 Red Cross Day and Flag Week appeal will officially be launched on Friday, 8 May 2026 at Camus Palace in Lilongwe, where President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika is expected to preside over the event. Last year, the Malawi Red Cross Society targeted to raise about 180 million kwacha during the appeal, but failed to meet the target, partly due to limited electronic payment options, which affected contributions from members of the public.
Ms. Malawi chairperson aspirant Innocent Mpongolo has prayed for a renewed and future-oriented media industry in the country. Mpongolo made the remarks during an engagement with journalists at Luntha Television on Wednesday as the campaign continues ahead of the Miss Malawi chapter elections scheduled for Saturday 9th May 2026. Adams Munerpembe has filed this report.
Mpongolo said his vision is to build a media industry that remains relevant, refreshed, and responsive to emerging challenges affecting journalists and media institutions in Malawi. He further said his experience in different sectors of the media industry makes him a suitable candidate for the position, as it gives him a broad understanding of the challenges facing the profession. The aspirant also emphasized the need for unity and collective participation among media practitioners in shaping the future of journalism in Malawi, looking at emerging technologies used by other media houses in other countries and influencers, urging media houses to embrace the use of technology.
I would like us to have a media that is relevant, a media that is renewed, and a media that has a fresh approach to issues. So that's the key messages that I brought here. People should vote for me because I'm looking at the future. I'm representing the future. I'm not representing the now or the past. I'm representing the future of the media industry in Malawi.
Innocent Mpongolo will contest in the position against his opponents, Alex Banda, Felix Washon, and Janet Mtali, in the MISA Malawi elections, scheduled to take place on Saturday, the 9th of May this year. For Luntha News, this is Adams Mwanelupembe.
Now in sports, NBS Bank has increased its sponsorship for the 2026-2027 National Division League from 270 million kwacha to 530 million kwacha. Speaking during the official unveiling in Blantyre on Wednesday, NBS Bank head of marketing Frank Magombo said the increased sponsorship reflects the bank's continued commitment to the development of football and the important role the league plays in the country. Patrick Pupa has filed this report.
Magombo noted that the league goes beyond just football, describing it as a vital national platform that helps to discover and nurture emerging talent, especially in areas that rarely experience top-level football. He further revealed that the bank plans to use the competition to promote financial inclusion by bringing banking services closer to communities.
For us in the second season, what we're looking forward to is us engaging more communities and using this as a platform for us to drive financial inclusion. We as a bank, we believe financial inclusion is very critical for every Malawian to take part and to be part of this revolution. Everyone has to have access to financial services, and we want to use National Division League as that platform to drive financial inclusion, especially to the remotest parts of this country.
Meanwhile, Football Association of Malawi Vice Chairperson for Competitions and Marketing Committee Daudim Tantiko commended the bank for its ongoing investment in the sport from Charter Shield to National Division League.
We are very delighted. My president, Mr. Fritu Luhaya, is also very, very delighted for NPS, a caring bank, which has shown that indeed it's a friend, it's a partner in football. So we are very pleased to have NPS back in the second season, and we are pleased and very happy to hear that even the sponsorship has been increased to 530 million, over $500 million.
Under the new sponsorship package, the winners of 2026-2027 National Division League will receive 25 million kwacha, and each team participating in the league will receive 20 million kwacha as a subversion fee. The launch of this year's new 2026-2027 National Division League will be on 10th May at Owen Malijani Stadium in Mchinji, where Namdede Zita will face Extreme FC. For Luntha News, this is Patrick Pupa.
In other news, former President of Cameroon's National Assembly and long-term political figure, Canvier Edebli, has died at the age of 86. His passing comes just 50 days after he relinquished his position as Speaker, which he occupied for a record of 34 years. We have an African news report read by Charity Chiranga.
Local media reports that he died in his home village of Mada in the Far North region, where he had retired to in March this year. First elected as Parliament Speaker in 1992, Jibril was a key figure in President Paul Biya's authoritarian regime and played a pivotal role in Cameroon's political landscape. Critics say that under Jibril's tenure as leader of the House, the legislature seldom fulfilled its potential as a counterweight to executive power. One of the president's most prominent supporters under his leadership, Biya initiated and obtained all the reforms which allowed the perpetuation of his power. This included the 2008 constitutional reform, which resulted in the removal of presidential term limits, allowing Biya to stand for re-election indefinitely. It also granted the president extensive immunity from prosecution for actions taken while in office.
That item concludes our detailed news bulletin. Before we go, another look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV emphasizes the importance of reading books as Vatican publishing houses mark 100 years. Rights advocates urge protection of whistleblowers in fresh Chilima plane crash inquiry. Malawians in South Africa call for government intervention over xenophobic attacks. And in other news, Cameroon former National Assembly President Ijai Jibli dies at 86. I've been Fales Chizumbe. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to tune in for the rest of our programs here on Luntha Television. Stay safe and goodbye.